A pipe burst in Rechnitz Hall, mice, mold, and insects have students and faculty concerned. Plus, the Intercultural Center is kicking off Black History Month. All this and more on this episode of Hawk TV News. Good evening and welcome back to this episode of Hawk TV News. I'm Raid Spellacy.
And I'm Chris Mangan. The search for today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, enters its second week. The 84-year-old was last seen on January 31st in Tucson, Arizona, after missing church the next morning. Friends alerted the Guthrie family, who reported her missing to local authorities. Nancy Guthrie has a limited mobility, a pacemaker, and relies on daily medication. Authorities believe she was abducted from her home, and blood found inside and outside the house has been confirmed as hers. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have appealed directly to her captors, releasing emotional videos begging her for her safe return. Quote, "She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to," Savannah Guthrie said in one video. The FBI and local law enforcement are working around the clock analyzing surveillance video and searching homes and nearby areas. A ransom note demanding payment in Bitcoin has been received and is being taken seriously. Surveillance images recently released showed a masked individual at her door. Authorities detained a person of interest hours later, but that individual has since been released, investigators say. There are still following leads and urge the public to report any information that could help. The FBI has offered a $50,000 reward for information leading to Nancy Guthrie's safe return.
The Intercultural Center at Monmouth University has 14 events scheduled for Black History Month, which kicked off on campus on February 3rd. Monmouth students and the community can look forward to a month-long series of activities, including weekly Black History trivia with prizes every Tuesday on Instagram at Monmouth Intercultural. The Program for African Diaspora Studies and Black Student Union are also sponsoring a student art contest, with winning works on display for the campus community. Additional events are still in development, so visit the Intercultural Center website for updates throughout the month. Past and upcoming events include the Tuesday Night Record Club featuring Stevie Wonder's Talking Book, a student portrait gallery curated by BSU President Samara Rodriguez, and the Julian Francis Abel Room dedication and celebration. Other highlights include Black History Month Jazz Night, alumni career panels, and networking opportunities, and the 7th annual Toni Morrison Day with keynote speaker Dr. Piper Kendricks Williams. Sports fans can join in on Black History Month night at men's and women's basketball games, and the month concludes with Ebony Night, a legacy that lives, presented by the Black Student Union and the Intercultural Center. Limited edition Black History Month sweatshirts will be available to first attendees at selected events, so don't miss out. We are going now to send things over to Ava McGinty to hear about prominent figures in Monmouth's history.
Monmouth University has a rich history influenced by lives and legacies that are quite literally built into the university's foundation. During Black History Month, it is especially important to recognize the contributions of the Black community and all of those that have made here at Monmouth. The Great Hall, for example, is the most recognizable part of our campus, and it was built in 1929 and designed by Horace Trumbauer and Julian Abel. Abel was the third formally educated Black architect in the United States upon his graduation from the University of Pennsylvania's School of Architecture in 1902. In 1906, Abel's portfolio was shown to Horace Trumbauer, who had immediately hired him. Abel worked for Trumbauer for 44 years and eventually became a senior designer. He had worked on buildings all the way up and down the East Coast, and Abel had overcome multiple adversaries throughout his career, including Jim Crow laws, and has left an everlasting legacy built into Monmouth University's campus. Walter McAfee was a renowned physicist who worked at Fort Monmouth as a part of the United States Army's Communication Electronics Command. During his military career, Dr. McAfee contributed to several major projects, including Project Diana. That project marked the first time that radar signals were bounced off of the moon, helping launch the modern era of space exploration. It laid the groundwork for development in space satellites and eventually manned spaceflight. Dr. McAfee was among very few Black Americans of his time to earn an advanced degree in physics, and he received his Master of Science in Theoretical Physics from Ohio State University and later on earned his doctorate from Cornell University. From 1958 to 1975, Dr. McAfee lectured at Monmouth College, now known as Monmouth University, where he taught atomic and nuclear physics and solid-state electronics. During his time at Monmouth, Dr. McAfee served on the Curriculum Advisory Council for the Electronics Engineering Department, and in recognition of his impact and achievements, Monmouth University awarded him an honorary doctorate of science in 1985. Prominent civil rights activists have also visited Monmouth, including Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Ruby Bridges. In October of 1966, King delivered a speech in Boylan Gymnasium that had left attendees optimistic and hopeful for working towards a future of equality. The recording of that speech can be found on the Monmouth University website. Black History Month gives us the opportunity to learn about the legacies of individuals that may not be well known but are still very influential. Conversations like these can help educate our student body and help facilitate a welcoming and inclusive campus environment. I'm now going to send things back over to Chris and Mairead.
Thanks, Ava. A pipe burst in Recknitz Hall earlier this week, causing the building to be closed. The Pop Surrealism exhibit from the James and Maureen Dormant collection was in the DiMatteo Gallery in Recknitz. The exhibit was supposed to be from January 20th until March 20th, with an opening reception scheduled for February 20th. The reception has been postponed due to the unforeseen circumstances. The exhibit had to be removed from the building and will be reinstated at a later date, according to Scott Nauer, the Director of Galleries and Collections.
Students at Monmouth University have been reporting issues with mice, mold, and insects across campus. Reagan Dunn, a senior living in the Great Lawn Apartments, reported multiple encounters with mice in his apartment. He said one mouse ran out from under the couch into the kitchen, and despite traps and bait, the problem continued. Exterminators were called, and the situation is now under control. His suite mate, Miles Humphrey, believes the university could be more proactive. He said it would make more sense to sweep all the apartments over break. It's the university's job to make sure students are taken care of. Mice have also been spotted in the dining hall. Junior Annika Jantz saw one run across the floor, and sophomore Kylie Feeney found insects in her food this January. Feeney said she hopes the university takes dining quality seriously and does more than just offer compensation. Mold has also been an issue. Former resident assistant Eliana Duerte tested positive for black mold in Hess Hall and received medical treatment. Air quality testing was done, and facilities continue to monitor the building's university. University President Patrick Leahy said administration is aware of these reports and is working to resolve issues quickly. Students are encouraged to report problems to Residential Life or through the SGA feedback form. Facilities management continues inspections, makes repairs, and reduces humidity levels to prevent future problems. Jones, Director of Housing Operations, said, quote, "Students pay a lot of money to go to school here. We want you to have a fantastic experience."
Students at Monmouth University are taking steps to form a new chapter of Turning Point USA, a national conservative student organization. The group has submitted an initial interest form to the Student Government Association, but has not yet filed a club constitution or other documents required for official recognition. SGA President Brendan Sheehan said all interest groups are evaluated the same way and that political organizations are not approved or denied based on ideology. He emphasized that colleges have historically been places for free speech and thoughtful discussion. Lorelei Hilarczyk, a senior communication major and hopeful chapter president, said the goal is to promote respectful communication, political dialogue on campus, with a focus on free speech, fiscal responsibility, and free markets. If approved, the chapter would host tabling events, guest speakers, election watch parties, and charity initiatives, including events with both the campus Republican and Democrat clubs. Hilarczyk also distinguished the Monmouth chapter from controversies involving Turning Point USA elsewhere, stressing that the group would operate within Monmouth University guidelines and its own constitution. Reactions from the student organizations have been mixed. College Democrats expressed concern about campus division, citing Turning Point USA's national activities by contrast. College Republicans welcomed to the group, highlighting the potential for increased conservative engagement and student participation in political debate. The SGA requires all clubs to include anti-discrimination language and follow the Student Code of Conduct to ensure organizations positively contribute to campus life. As of February 2nd, no club constitution has been submitted and no decision recognition has been made. Super Bowl commercials have become just as big of a cultural moment as the game itself, and Dean Heidel is here to break down this year's ads.
Hello everyone, my name is Dean Heidel, and I know you may be surprised to see me here on Hawk TV News, but I'm here to talk about a very, very pressing matter. What the heck happened to Super Bowl commercials? In the past, as we all know, Super Bowl commercials were a staple of the game itself. Everyone looked forward to seeing the really, really humorous commercials, typically from brands such as Bud Light or Doritos. However, it seems that in recent years, these commercials have really seemed to lose their glory. In 2026, Super Bowl 60 shifted nearly 25% of its commercials to be AI generated. The commercials that did not focused more on celebrities and viral moments. However, this is really nothing new, as 60% of the commercials in the 2025 Super Bowl contained celebrity cameos. Many fans online believe that the commercials kind of lost their magic and simply have not been nearly as creative as they used to be. Personally, I still really enjoyed some of the commercials. I really liked the Bud Light one, and I especially really liked the heartwarming commercial shouting out the hard work of mothers last year during Super Bowl 59. But my favorite has to be the one, of course, with Pokemon this year because, I don't know, maybe that's just because I'm a huge nerd. That'll do it for this spoof on Super Bowl commercials. Let's send it back over to the main desk.
A Berkeley man has been accused of setting fire to a Planet Fitness in Toms River. 38-year-old Joseph Mansueto was charged with aggravated arson and criminal mischief, according to Ocean County prosecutor Bradley D. Billheimer. Toms River police and firefighters responded to the fitness center on Route 37 West at 3:40 a.m. Sunday, February 8th. Firefighters were able to extinguish the flames and contain the damage to the outside of the building. Investigators determined the fire starting on the southwest corner of the building using combustible materials and identified Mansueto as the suspect. Authorities have not released a motive. Mansueto is being held at the Ocean County Jail awaiting a detention hearing. No attorney has been listed in court records at this time.
The 2026 Winter Olympics are heating up in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy. And Team USA is making history with its largest Winter Olympics team ever, featuring 232 athletes competing for gold. American athletes have already made a splash, with skier Breezy Johnson winning gold in the women's downhill, figure skaters taking gold in the team event, and Elizabeth Lemley winning gold in moguls. Silver and bronze medals have also been added to the mix, including a silver in cross-country skiing for Ben Ogden, silver for Alex Hall in freestyle ski, and bronze for Jackie Wiles and Paula Moltzen in team downhill. Team USA fell short in mixed doubles curling, taking home silver after losing to Sweden. In the current medal count, Norway leads with 13 total medals, including 7 gold, followed by the United States with 11 medals, 4 of them gold. Switzerland, Germany, and Italy round out the top 5. Team USA had the most medals of any country at the 2024 Summer Olympics, but Norway has historically dominated the Winter Games, holding the all-time Winter Olympics medal record with 404 total medals. The United States is second with 330, and Germany comes in third with 286. Overall, the United States holds the most Olympic medals in history with 3,103 total, including 1,220 gold. But as the 2026 Winter Games continue, Team USA is eyeing a strong finish, hoping to add to its legacy and bring home more gold from Italy. We are now going to send things over to Ian Epstein for another episode of Let's Talk Films.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ian Epstein, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Films. As I've said previously in my Sinners review, the 2026 Oscars have brought in a ton of outstanding movies, with most having been nominated for Best Picture. This week's film, however, has become one of my all-time favorites and has drawn in a huge crowd with its pre-release advertising. This week's film is none other than A24's Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme. Directed by Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme follows the obsessed yet persistent character of the same title. Played by Timothée Chalamet, the film follows his crazy adventure towards becoming the world's best table tennis player. The film, set in the 1940s and 50s, Marty Supreme goes on a wild journey to become the champion with a vast variety of friends and enemies who either assist or delay in his journey. And while the plot is fictionalized, Marty Supreme is based on a real-life American table tennis player named Marty Reisman, who unfortunately passed away in 2012. Marty Supreme has a tremendous cast with many on-screen favorites as well as some fun surprises. Timothée Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Zion, Tyler the Creator, and even Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, someone who I never knew could act so well. They are some of the biggest names in that mix. But the film also includes many surprising cameos, such as the Iceman George Gervin, Luke Manley, who was in a viral New York Knicks Side Talk NYC video, Ted Williams, otherwise known as the radio voice guy from a viral YouTube video, and many other entertaining stars. What I love about this movie is the absolute craziness that ventures on throughout Marty Supreme's ping pong journey. Yes, we do get to watch Marty sharpen his table tennis skills and compete to become the greatest ever, but we also get to see the overall absurdity in how he supports such a lifestyle. From rigging small ping pong games to even holding a dog ransom, Marty possesses the abilities to scrape up enough money to support himself and his journey throughout the world. The film is a wild ride overall, and Marty Supreme takes on themes of obsession and success no matter the circumstances. Themes that the Safdie brothers have mastered through movies such as Uncut Gems and Good Time. But what makes this film very interesting was its advertising before its big release. The film's marketing relied heavily on a pop culture approach, expanding its image on ping pong balls, jackets that celebrities wore, a viral YouTube video featuring Timothée Chalamet, and even having the image of Marty Supreme's orange ball shown on the Las Vegas Sphere. I predict that Marty Supreme will be an Oscar winner this year, whether it be for Timothée Chalamet's stunning and obsessive performance as the table tennis player, or the film's remarkable cinematography and story. And it's for these reasons that I highly recommend finding the time to watch this film, especially if it's still in theaters. But once again, my name is Ian Epstein, and this has been Let's Talk Films.
Thanks, Ian. Long Branch is moving forward with plans for a new ocean pier. The city will spend $12,400,000 to build a pier jutting 550 feet into the ocean, replacing the original pier that burned down in 1987. Construction is expected to start in the coming months, with hopes that the pier will be open in time for the summer of 2027. The City Council and Mayor awarded the contract to J.T. Cleary Incorporated, a marine construction company based in Newark, to handle both the boardwalk extension and fishing pier. Residents and visitors alike are looking forward to the new attraction.
The President will deliver the State of the Union address this week, laying out the administration's priorities for the year ahead. The speech will take place before a joint session of Congress and is expected to focus on the economy, national security, and domestic policy. White House officials say the President will highlight recent economic trends, including job growth and inflation, while calling on lawmakers to pass legislation on healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Immigration and foreign policy are also expected to be major topics, as global conflicts and border security remain key issues for voters. The State of the Union address is one of the most high-profile moments of the President's term and sets the tone for the political year ahead. Now, from politics to sports entertainment, WrestleMania is just weeks away. Zev joins us now with a preview.
What's going on? I'm Zev Kalman, and we're here to talk about wrestling, WWE news to be more specific. Right now in the WWE, we are on the road to WrestleMania, a very big time in the year between January to about April. This year, WrestleMania takes place April 18th and 19th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. We recently just passed the Royal Rumble on January 31st, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. So, your two Rumble winners for the women's side was Liv Morgan and then Roman Reigns on the male side. Roman Reigns has chosen his opponent for WrestleMania, as he will go head-to-head with CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Liv Morgan has yet to choose her opponent, as she is stuck between Jade Cargill, who has had the title for over 100 days with 0 defenses, or Stephanie Vaquer, who is also the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. So she may go against her or Jade. The choice is hers. She has not made a decision yet on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. Now, in a couple of weeks, on February 28th in Chicago, the Elimination Chamber will be taking place. As of right now, for the men's event, we have Randy Orton and LA Knight. All the other opponents are yet to be determined, again, on qualifying matches that will take place on Raw and SmackDown in the upcoming weeks. And on the women's side of things, we have Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. Again, the 2 spots have been filled. Qualifying matches will be continued as time advances. Now, there is a big injury list going into WrestleMania, as Seth Rollins has been injured since Crown Jewel in 2025. He had a rotator cuff surgery, and he's still getting better and healing. they've yet to announce if he will be back in time for WrestleMania. The original plans were going to be him versus Roman Reigns, but unfortunately, those had gotten scrapped because of his injury. Now, Braun Breaker of the Vision has also been injured as he gave himself a hernia, flipping over the announce desk in a little temper tantrum he had caused on Raw a couple weeks prior. So he will also be out most likely for Mania, but details are still disclosed. And in other news, Naomi has been on maternity leave for some time, so she will not be back for a little bit. I'm not sure of the timeline of how many months she's been out, but she has not returned yet. And we also have Bianca Belair, who has been out since WrestleMania 41 last year, also in Allegiant Stadium when she had a triple threat against Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and yeah, that's it, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and then Bianca Belair. And she had hurt her finger and has been out this entire time with no date as to when she will return. Chelsea Green had recently broken her ankle on WWE TV doing a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. Unfortunately, she did not win, but she will be out following these next couple SmackDowns, saying that she had broken her ankle. Kevin Owens has been out all this time, had a neck injury. He has not returned yet and probably won't be because his neck is in pretty bad condition, so I would not expect to see him coming in the next couple weeks. And JD McDonough of the Judgment Day has also been injured with a hand surgery that he had posted on his social media, so his time for return has not been disclosed yet, but hopefully he will heal up and be back soon. Now, talking about Mania, there's only one Mania match that has been confirmed. That is the Punk vs. Roman Reigns match. Everything else is probably going to get set after Elimination Chamber, because right now we have Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and CM Punk goes against Finn Balor before his Mania match for his title on the line. Most likely CM Punk will win due to how the show runs, and it will make sense for Mania because that would be ridiculous to have a match against two big names with no title on the line. There was a masked man that did appear on Raw this week, and it was said to be Grayson Waller under the mask, but is definitely hiding for some other superstar, potentially a return for Seth Rollins, as he did get turned on by the Vision after his injury at Crown Jewel. That's all the news for right now in terms of WWE. I'm excited to see what happens as the road to WrestleMania comes to a conclusion, and I hope you guys watch it with me. So I'll be on hopefully again to talk about it. Have a nice night.
A Florida woman was rescued from a sinking car and gave birth hours later on her own birthday. Shedley Apollin's car veered off I-95 near Stort and plunged into a pond. Both doors were submerged, but Good Samaritan Logan Hayes swam to the car and pulled her out safely. Hours later, Apollin gave birth to daughter Ivory Sully via emergency C-section at 33 weeks. Both mother and child are healthy and now share the same birthday. Apollin said the experience showed her strength and her daughter's fighting spirit. Her fiancé called it a miracle, and the Martin County Fire Rescue Team provided immediate care, ensuring she reached the hospital safely. This heartwarming story is a reminder of courage, quick thinking, and human kindness. Well, that is all we have on tonight's episode of Hawk TV News. I'm Reid Spellacy.
And I'm Chris Mangan. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.